Director Martin Scorsese is Hollywood royalty. No matter what he makes, there will be a baked-in audience eagerly awaiting to consume and digest his work. This is without question. What I do ponder, however, is his ability to be consistent in his battle for old-school cinema. Does he still have the cinematic ingenuity to create authentic and transportive pieces of art, or have us cinephiles been indoctrinated to like 3-hour-long dramas because we've convinced ourselves that there is in fact something to be digested? Killers of the Flower Moon is a perfect case study, based on the true story of the Osage Indian murders in the 1920s, where more than 60 wealthy Native Americans were ruthlessly killed so that white Americans could profit from their deaths. This is an important story to be told, and where the film starts to be quite conflicting. Unfortunately, to avoid spoilers, I can't go into the details of why it's conflicting, but it mainly has to do with Leonardo DiCaprio's Ernest Burkhart being front and center. Those who know the story know how they feel about him. Those who just watch the movie might have a conflicting point of view. This is frustrating. Life is not black and white, but it can be good and evil. Killers of the Flower Moon seems to toe the line of what it thinks good and evil in the story actually is, and who the victims of the story actually are. Of course, the natural conclusion would be the native Osage people. So why is it told from the perspective of a supposed loving husband and father to Osage, whose motives are muddy at best and diabolical at worst? This issue was made so much worse because this movie is 3.5 hours long with no intermission. At that length, for a crime drama, it is an open invitation for small things, whether it's in the movie or in the theater itself, to become distractions from the overarching story. I found myself forgetting certain aspects of the plot, and the pacing is so inconsistent I thought the story was coming to a close somewhere in the middle of the film. This encourages a rewatch, but I would honestly rather consume the story from a history book rather than in this format. What would bring me back to this film, however, is the performances. Lily Gladstone is phenomenal in this movie, and it is a shame she is not in it as much as you would think. Leonardo does great work here as well, but he has become too reliant on acting ridiculous and fits of rage in every single movie that it has completely lost its effectiveness. Gone are the days of his ability to build tension in the moment, and constant is the misrepresentation of his intention as humorous. Killers of the Flower Moon is one of the longest experiences you can have with modern cinema. It's meticulous in its detail, and that can be quite draining for 3.5 hours. But it is irrefutable. Martin Scorsese has crafted a captivating tale that showcases one of the most wretched betrayals in American history, but forfeits a bit of emotional potential for a confusing amount of nuance that feels totally out of place.
I ought to kill these white men who killed my family.
Thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. My goal is to have an international group of film lovers that can come together and talk about their favorite niche in the whole wide world, movies. So without further ado, go down below and let me know what your thoughts are on the topic. I might not agree, but your opinion always matters, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise.